Hello and welcome to Urban Updates One-on-One series. Today we are in Ghaziabad. We are going to interview one of the most dynamic and versatile officer of Ghaziabad Municipal Corporation, Mahant Singh Tawar. He has a vision for Ghaziabad. He wants to make Ghaziabad a Gajab Ghaziabad. So what is this Gajab Ghaziabad and what are the key components of this vision? We will speak to him and know more about his planning for transforming this city. So, Mr. Tawar, we want to know because we have heard you saying that you want to transform Jila Ghaziabad into Gajab Ghaziabad. So, what is Jila Ghaziabad and what is Gajab Ghaziabad? Can you explain?
First of all, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. The idea of Gajab Ghaziabad came few months back. When we were discussing, I was listening one interview, and very in a different way, it was said that it is Jila Ghaziabad. When we say Jila Ghaziabad, the connotation is not a very positive connotation for Ghaziabad. Then we decided that if everything is brand image and brand is also important, so why can't we make Ghaziabad a brand? Then tagline of the brand should be a different kind of punchline where people can connect, and at that time we thought that it should be Gajab Ghaziabad, and it is not only a word. When we say Gajab Ghaziabad, it is Gazab. Actually, we were planning for improving the sports infrastructure in city. At that time we thought that the full form of the Gajab should be Ghaziabad Active Jila Active Bharat. So this was the concept we conceived and decided that we will call from now onwards at Gajab Ghaziabad. So this is the story behind Gajab Ghaziabad.
Okay, we are also seeing a lot of changes happening in NCR region, especially if we look at India's urban story. So in India's urban story, how do you see that this that there are different missions of government of India, Smart City Mission, Swachh Bharat Mission, this Hriday, a lot of missions are going on. So how do you see that this Gajab Ghaziabad can take all these missions along and build its own capacity, its own image, different from other cities? Because when we were talking about Smart Cities Mission in India, we were seeing that almost a lot of cities came out with similar plans. Yes. So that was an apprehension of many experts that when we are finalizing this city, when these cities are when these cities become smart, then there will be no difference between Varanasi and Chandigarh. So what are the exclusive features of Ghaziabad that you want to focus on?
There can be many genres. For example, if we talk about the movies, the genres can be comedy, it can be horror, it can be love. When we talk about smart city, it is just a concept, but every city has its unique problems and they are ready to offer different solutions. As far as Ghaziabad is concerned, the geostrategic location of this city is very interesting. It is a gateway to the Uttar Pradesh, and it is the first municipal corporation around Delhi from Uttar Pradesh. Noida is a development authority. So Ghaziabad has tremendous potential. So I think when we are talking about Delhi NCR or smart cities or Ghaziabad, lot of opportunities are here and lot of possibilities are here. So we have to think two side of the stories. One is demand side and one is supply side. The demand side of the story is that it is a city which is known for its industrial development. It is a city, it is known for that most of the people who work in Delhi and NCR region, they stay in Ghaziabad because they find that the livelihood, the cost of livelihood is comparatively less in Ghaziabad. That is why they are preferring Ghaziabad as a residential city. And from that point of view, demand is huge, not only in residential areas but also in industries, both manufacturing and service sector both. So this is the demand side of the story. If we want to meet this demand, we have to focus on supply side of the story. What is the supply side of the story? We have to provide proper basic amenities, basic infrastructure to the people of the Ghaziabad who either living in the city or working in the city. So we have to focus on the supply side of the story. Here is the role of the municipal corporation. We are a civic body, and we provide all the basic amenities to the people of the or the resident of the city. So from that point of view, corporation has huge responsibility in all the spheres of the life, be it roads, lights, sewerage, water, cleanliness. Either it can be a part of Swachh Bharat Mission or smart city. So this is the supply side of the story, and we are focusing on this side of the story so that we can fulfill the demand.
Okay, talking about cleanliness in Swachh Bharat Mission, the government of India has started a competition between cities. So this Swachh Sarvekshan, how Ghaziabad is making efforts, taking initiatives to improve its ranking further, because there are many challenges when you talk about that in the demand side and supply side. So Ghaziabad has a lot of potential, obviously being the part of NCR, but it also brings so many challenges. How you are going to address the challenges that come with the opportunities and make cities the cleanest in India?
Ghaziabad used to be one of the dirtiest city because of it has its own reasons. It was an industrial city. There can be many reasons, but after Swachh Bharat Mission, from in last 5 to 6 years, this city has improved a lot, and it is improving continuously. Now you can see that it is performing very good in the Swachh Bharat Mission also. The feeling of competition is there, and the sense of competition is there, and we are competing with the other city of the country, and we have achieved first rank in Uttar Pradesh in 2018 and 18 and 19, and we were also in the top 13. 13th rank was the Ghaziabad was 13th and 2 years back. So last year it goes down a little bit, but again we are very hopeful that this time we will fight back and we will bounce back, and we will perform very better in this year. So as far as challenge is concerned, definitely population pressure is one of the challenge, and when there is a population pressure in a city, so we have to be very cautious and very responsible towards providing basic amenities or basic civic amenities. So this is the challenge, but we are ready for this challenge.
So when we are talking about cleanliness in Swachh Bharat Mission, most of the cities, when the ministry also released data, the major component, the major I think the crucial point that city focused on and became successful, that was people's participation. Like if Indore became the cleanest city, it is because of its people. So how do you plan to engage the people of Ghaziabad in this mission?
We have to focus on two things. There are two kind of population in the city. One is the core population of the city, and one is the migratory population of the city. Many people who work here or stay here, they come from the different part of the country. So we have to generate the sense of belongingness in them also, because the people who are living in Ghaziabad since many years, they are connected to the city. They are living in the core of the city. So we have to develop a two-fold strategy, one for the people who are living here since many years, and one strategy for the people who are coming and working or staying in this city. So we have identified two strategies in Ghaziabad.
With urbanization, with more people coming to this city for several reasons, the problem of pollution, because when we are near Delhi, the problem of air pollution is very prominent. So and with the air pollution and other, if you look at other climate change related issues, so the Ghaziabad cannot avoid the challenges that may evolve. So what is your strategy to look when you look at the climate change issues? So what are the major challenges and what could be the solutions for the city?
See, I'll take a minute or two in this sector. When you will observe the pie chart of pollution, you will find that it is an interdepartmental issue. We can divide this pie chart or the pie in many areas. For example, vehicular pollution is one of the area, dust pollution is one of the area, burning of garbage is another issue, and there can be industrial pollution also. So there are many areas which contributes to the problem of the pollution. As far as Ghaziabad Nagar Nigam is concerned, we are focusing on all those areas which deals with the corporation. And what are those areas? I am just giving an example. If there is a open burning of garbage, it should not be there, and we should focus on these areas by only processing of garbage. So we have focused that our collection and transportation should be strengthened, and there should be a facility where we can process our garbage. For this, we have developed a unique concept called garbage factory. It is a factory where garbage is processed, and it is unique in its own way because it is a APR based model and it is income based model. We are not doing any expenditure in the processing of waste, rather we are generating income from this facility. So it is the first area where we are working. Second, vehicular pollution is concerned, though we are just one of the stakeholder in vehicular pollution, because we have just around 500 odd vehicles. So what we are focusing, we are doing away with the diesel vehicles. We are focusing on CNG and e-vehicles. Very soon Ghaziabad Nagar Nigam will be one of the first corporation in India where door-to-door collection will be fully based on e-vehicles. So we are also playing our part in this area. Now the third component is dust pollution. So we have decided, and in fact we have released funds from the 15th Finance Commission, where we are focusing on decreasing the quantum of the dust. What we are doing, on Sadak there is a kachi patri, the raw patri of the road. We are perforated tiles we are planning so that the generation of dust can be minimized. So from this point onwards, we have added one more area where we are not only collecting dust, but we are also using that dust into making into many kind of tiles in our construction and demolition waste plant. So we have many strategies to deal with this menace, and definitely we are playing our part, but at the same time other departments has to chip in with us, like pollution control board, like transport department and other departments. When we sit together and we plan a strategy, we make a plan for a city, definitely we can deal with this problem.
You rightly said about that urban governance. When we talk about municipal governance, it is a very complex issue because it deals with lot of challenges, and there are many stakeholders and institution organizations are involved. So when a citizen, as a citizen of Ghaziabad, so I say if I am a citizen of Ghaziabad, then how do I look at this when I want a better service from the corporation? How I can connect with the corporation? What are your initiative to reach out to the people and take their suggestions in participatory kind of a governance model? How do you do that?
See, I think 3-4 areas are there. When I joined a year back in October last year, we started Jan Chopals. It was a mechanism where we can connect with the people of this or with the resident of the city. We used to go in the parks in the morning from 8 AM to 10 AM. We used to interact with the people, and we used to find that what kind of problem they are facing. From there we can analyze that what is the basket of the problems, and where we can pick the problems and we can work upon them. So this is the first area we have focused. Second, social media is a very good tool. We interact with the people through social media also, be it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Apart from this, our email is there, app is there, portal is there. So people are interacting with us, and in office also from 10 AM to 12 AM, 12 noon we used to sit in office, and normally people come there. But many people who are working in Ghaziabad, they also have their offices, and when there is a Sunday, we have also Sundays, office is closed. In those areas, I think social media and other mechanisms play important role. This is how we are connecting with the people. Now, the question which you have asked, that how they can contribute, how they can connect with the Nagar Nigam, they can connect in many ways. They can play their responsibility of paying taxes on time, because if they will pay taxes on time, that fund will be used for the general development of the city. This is the first responsibility they can play. Second responsibility, I used to give one slogan, कि गंदा ना करना भी साफ करना है. So I have focused on this area. If we will not make our roads or our city dirty, definitely we are contributing in the cleanliness of the city, because I personally feel that 5,000 odd people cannot clean the dirt or the garbage of the 25 people of the city, 25 lakh people of the city. So all these 25 lakh people used to need to play a role in the general upliftment of the city. So this is how we focus on our day-to-day affairs.
Where you talked about that people paying taxes and playing their role in city development, and you also mentioned about how you are developing a ecosystem where people can connect with the city. The major problem where we see in Indian cities especially that the financial constraint in most of the cities, in most of the corporation all across India, only barring few like Mumbai, they are facing the problem of financial constraint if urban local body on their own want to start a project. I am not talking about the state and central sponsored projects, but how do you see that the city like Ghaziabad or any other similar city, because you are experienced and you have a vision for city, so how do you see that they can reach financially develop a financially sustainable model for doing their own project? Suppose a citizen community comes and tells you that we want cycle lanes in the city for 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers, it needs funds. So how do you see that if the city does not have that kind of a financial resources, they will face a problem. So how do you see that the city can develop their financial sustainability model?
This is a very good dimension of the story. The one three things I will say. The one story is that be it a house or a corporation, if your financial health is good, you will play wonderful roles. Similarly, in Ghaziabad Municipal Corporation, I have observed three things. One is that we need to focus on tax base and tax rate also, because there are around 5 lakh odd households in the city, but only 3,30,000 households pay taxes. There is a huge chunk, 1,50,000 plus households are there who are not paying taxes. So we are working on this. We have implemented property tax management system where GIS based mapping is there, and we are giving unique identification number to each household, be it residential or commercial or mixed properties. Through this we are focusing that we can improve the tax base. At the same time, the rates of the taxis are also less in Ghaziabad, because we are part of Delhi NCR and we are giving services to the tune of the debt level. But I have observed that many Nagar Nigams or in fact Nagar Palika have more tax rate than Ghaziabad Nagar Nigam. So we have to focus on the tax rate also. Once tax base and tax rate are rationalized, definitely your revenue will be increased. Apart from this, we have to focus on more areas apart from taxes, be it advertisement, be it parking, be it we are focusing on Nigam Plaza also. So we have to find more avenues of income. This is how we can increase our income. Second story is that not only we have to increase income, we have to cut our expenditures. That is how fiscal policy is focused. So when I speak about the fiscal policy of the Ghaziabad Municipal Corporation, we need to cut the expenditures also. So we have to look into the more competitive prices in all the areas where we spend. So we are not only improving the income side, but we are also cutting down the expenditure side. And the third story, fortunately, Ghaziabad Municipal Corporation is a self-sustainable body, but that does not mean that we can spend much more, because earning less and spending less is not a good sign, right? So we have to earn more, we have to spend more. So we are changing our strategy. No doubt we don't have any loans, we don't have any all these kind of liabilities. But definitely if we will improve our income side, we have to improve our expenditure side also, and this is how city develops. Third issue is that apart from the local resources, state government and central government also funds us through 15th Finance Commission or other government schemes, smart city and all these things. So this is how we manage our finances.
Tell us more about this green bond story of Ghaziabad, because Ghaziabad became the first corporation in India to issue green bonds. What are these and how it is going to benefit the city?
See, as I said that when we speak about the finances of the corporation, we need to find more avenues from where we can collect, we can arrange funds. And I think public funding is one of the area where we can focus. So we tried to list ourselves on the Bombay Stock Exchange, and we raised 150 crore from the public funds. The story behind this is that when we open ourselves to the market, not only the financial discipline increase, but apart from our local resources and the grants and aids from we get from the state or central government, we need to focus on the market also. If we start taking funds from the market, we can earn more, we can spend more. So this is how we started, and we listed ourselves on the Bombay Stock Exchange, and fortunately we became the first municipal corporation in India. We launched the India's first green municipal bond. Why it is green? Because we are generating funds from the market, and we are utilizing that fund in developing one tertiary treatment plant. One of the STPs we have will be converted into tertiary treatment plant, and then that water will be taken, around 40 MLD water will be taken through network system, piped network, and we will give this water to 1700 odd industries in the Saibabad industrial area. The present scenario in these industries are that the groundwater is going down and down again and again, and CPCB and other agencies, they discourage taking water from the ground. So what these industries will do in future? Either they will close their industries or they will shift their businesses. So to avoid those things, we felt that we need to provide industrial water to these industries so that they can survive, and I think this is wonderful initiative. We will give water to around 1700 industries in coming 2 years. For that we raised this municipal bond.
How much money you have generated so
150 crore.
150 crore. Okay. So, talking about a lot of changes and a lot of initiatives you have taken at your end, my one question is, because when this pandemic was unfolding, we are in a post-pandemic world setting, and many cities in the world, not just in India, in Europe, in Americas of the world, they are talking about the green rebuilding or 2030 agenda. A lot of international agendas are there. So, when we talk about pandemics and disasters, so building urban resilience is very crucial, because we know that it can come anytime. 2020 and 2021 is just an example. So, during that time, addressing the needs and demands and requirements of the urban informality, that is crucial, because these people do not have savings for sustaining for 6 months, or so how do you address because there is a limited role in terms of providing employment and of corporation, but the problem is that in many big cities, including in Mumbai, Delhi, not just in India, outside also, people had to leave their informal settlements and leave, because they were not able to access to water, even because when everyone was telling keep distance or use water for washing your hands 3-4 times a day. So, people, if they do not have access to these basic services, then this pandemic becomes unfair to them. It is problematic for everyone, but becomes unfair to them in many ways. So, how do you see that you can address the problems of urban informality in the time of disaster or pandemics?
See, as far as our experience in Ghaziabad is concerned, I will say two things. One is that not only we have to ensure the basic amenities or civic amenities, day-to-day amenities to the people of the Ghaziabad, but apart from this, we also handled, or we can say that crisis management was another area where we worked. So, we were focusing on two things. First, we need to provide them the basic amenities, because general cleanliness cannot be compromised, drinking water cannot be compromised, sewerage management cannot be compromised, many more things cannot be compromised, which we provide to the people of the Ghaziabad. Apart from this, we need to focus on the crisis management also, like oxygen was the crisis at that time. So, what we arranged, we started initiative in Ghaziabad, that we started taking the empty cylinders from the people, and we used to get them filled, and we used to give them back. So, it was one of the role being played by the corporation. Apart from this, we also ensured that regular fogging, regular cleanliness, all these things can be taken care of. So, this is how we managed crisis in Ghaziabad. As far as resiliency is concerned, so I think it is a continuous process. We need to prepare ourselves on regular basis, and we have to take care, or we have to prepare ourselves for these kind of issues which comes in future.
Before asking you about your message to the audience and your vision for the city, let me ask you the second last question of this interview. I have seen in many places that in many cities the importance of public spaces is growing, because when we talk about the successful cities, Barcelona or other places in Europe, so the public spaces are in abundance, but in India those are shrinking. That is a sad part of our urban story. So what is the importance do you see in importance of public spaces in your corporation, and how do you want to look at it if you want to give people access to these public spaces, and so that they can enjoy, they can spend their leisure time there?
This is a very interesting thing. The first thing open spaces are very important, as you said, but there are open spaces available? This is the question. To address this question, we have focused on 3-4 areas. First of all, there is huge government land which we called LMC land is available, which is either encroached or which is misutilized. So we have identified a land bank of the corporation, and we started removing encroachments from those lands, so that we can develop some open spaces to the people. Very interestingly, in last 1 year we have got cleared around more than 50 hectare land in Ghaziabad. The market value of this land is around 1700 crore. So this is the level of encroachment in these kind of cities, because land is a very sparse.
It's a family silver.
Yes, it's a family silver. So then, if we are focusing on removing encroachments from these lands, then next phase is we need to develop these lands. We can develop them either in parks, in playgrounds. So we have to develop more and more open spaces for the people. Ghaziabad is a city which has around 1250 parks, which is one of the greenest city, I will say, because per capita green cover is very good in Ghaziabad. Though it is a different question that still pollution is there. So we are focusing that we can develop more parks to the people of the city. Second area is playground. We have parks, but cities are developing parks, but they are not developing much playgrounds. This is another important area we need to focus in, not only in Ghaziabad but in other cities also. So what we have developed a strategy, as we started this interview by calling Gazab Ghaziabad. So we focused on developing 100 playgrounds for the people of this, for the children of the city. So this is the second area. Third area, there are around 50 water bodies in Ghaziabad, which were also encroached or badly maintained. So we focused on those areas also. We have developed around 46 water bodies in Ghaziabad, and what we are developing more green spaces around them. We are ensuring that proper clean water is available in these water bodies, and some recreational activities can also be planned, like boating and other things, so that more and more open space we can provide to the people of the city. So this is how we are focusing on open spaces.
Now, because you have talked about public spaces and a lot of other issues, you have given your frank opinion. My last question to you is, if you want to prioritize your 3 target areas or the 3 priority areas for Ghaziabad Corporation in your vision for Gazab Ghaziabad, so what will be these 3 priority areas, and how do you want to achieve, and what is your road map for achieving this?
See, the first and foremost priority of any corporation will be the cleanliness of the city. We are focusing that each and every household should be touched by the corporation. We need to focus on the collection, effective collection and transportation, and then processing of that garbage. We need to develop an ecosystem where we can process our daily waste, so that the dump yards we can make the city a dump yard free city. So this is the first priority we are focusing, and we are very close to this vision to achieve this. Second is to provide people of this city a clean water, and for that we are focusing that in coming 2 years or 3 years we can touch every household and we can provide 24/7 a good tap water supply. This is the second area we have to focus. When I am speaking about the water supply, I am equally speaking about the sewerage management also, because we need to focus on that area also. Third area is making the general livelihood of the improving the general livelihood of the people of the city. How it will be ensured? It will be ensured by providing them open spaces. We will provide them playgrounds. We will provide them safe and secure parks and clean and green parks, and we will also provide them good market areas like Nigam Plaza, dedicated market for the women, dedicated market for different kind of people who are staying, who are doing business in the market, and we can link this to the proper street light in the city, so that people of the city can travel anytime and they should feel safe and secure. So all these are areas, the all kind of the taxation system should be rationalized. People can access the services of the corporation easily. So we are focusing on the e-office also. We are also focusing on the ERP system, enterprise resource planning, because we need to map our assets either below the surface or above the surface. We need to map our all assets. This is how we can manage our assets properly, and this is how we can provide better services to the people of the city.
Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best for all the initiatives you have talked about, and to make this city livable for the citizens of Ghaziabad. Best of luck to you, and thank you so much for watching this episode, and we will be back next week with another personality. Till then, keep watching. Thank you.